Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all back, and in today's video, we are going to discuss about the topic division of chapter 8. So, now let's start with our first topic, understanding the concept of division.
Students, as you can see in this picture, a balloon seller has 10 balloons and he gives an equal number of balloons to each of the 5 children present at the party. Now,
10 balloons are shared equally by 5 children. That is, there are 2 balloons for each child. And the statement is 10 divided by 5 is equals to 2. This statement 10 divided by 5 is equals to 2 is called a division fact. So now the symbol of division is this, and now we are going to discuss the terms of division. So there are 4 terms. First, divisor, which is the number that divides. Second, dividend, that is the number to be divided. And the quotient, the answer we get on dividing the number. And at the last, remainder, the number that remains after dividing. So as you all know, this the verification of the division, how we check the division that our answer is correct or not, which means our division is correct or not. So here is the formula. Dividend is equals to divisor multiplied by quotient plus remainder. So here we see 3 is the divisor, which we will multiply by 4, which is quotient, and we have to add 0, which is the remainder. Now 3 multiplied by 4 is 12, and we have to add 0 in 12, so we get 12. And now students, you can see 12 is the dividend, so which means your division is correct. Now equal grouping. So suppose children, you have 18 cakes and you want to make 6 equal groups. Then the division fact for this problem is total number of cake divided by total number of groups is equals to number of cakes in each group. Now we'll see how many cakes are there. So there are 18 cakes, and how many groups have been made? 6 groups. So think the table of 6 and find how many 6's are there in 18. So we can see in this table there are 3 6's in 18. So 3 is the number of the cakes in each plate. Division as repeated subtraction. So students, let's divide 16 divided by 4 by repeated subtraction method. So first we have to subtract 4 from 16. So we get 12. Now we have to subtract 4 from 12. So we get 8. Then subtract 4 from 8. So we get 4. And now at last we have to subtract 4 minus 4, which we get 0. Here you have to remember, we have to do subtraction until we get 0. And after that we'll count how many times we have subtracted 4, so we get 0. So count with me 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the answer is 4. That means 16 divided by 4 is 4. Division by using number line. Here we have 12 divided by 3. As you can see, there are 13 carats, which shows the number line, but we have to start from 12. Now skip count backward by 3 until we reach 0. For that we need 4 skip counts. So, the division fact for this problem is 12 divided by 3 is equal to 4. This shows another way of repeated subtraction. Now, let's see with one more example. Here, there are 8 numbers on the number line and we have to divide 8 divided by 2. So, we do skip counting by 2 in backward direction until we reach 0. Now, students, you can see we get 4 skip counts, which means 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. Now, relation between multiplication and division. So, student, you can see here 5 rows and 20 stamps are there and each row consists 4 stamps. Now, we can say in multiplication fact, number of groups multiplied by number of stamps in each group is equal to total number of stamps, which means 5 multiplied by 4 is equal to 20. And in division fact, we can say total number of stamps divided by number of groups is equals to number of stamps in each group, which means 20 divided by 5 is equals to 4. So, here also you will see relation between multiplication and division. Here I have taken the example of 5 multiplied by 3 is equals to 15. So, here I am going to tell you how we can relate multiplication with division. So, here 5 multiplied by 3 is equals to 15, and if we have to do the division fact for this multiplication, so we'll do the product divided by the multiplicand, so which gives the multiplier, or you can do product divided by multiplier, so you get the multiplicand, which means if we divide 15 by 3, so we get 5, and if we divide 15 by 5, so we get 3. So, from this we can say division is the inverse of multiplication. Now, division of one digit number without remainder. Here I am giving you an example. Divide 96 by 4. So here we have to do the division in the long method. So first we'll divide 4 by 9. So count 4 table. So we can see 4 2s are 8 and 4 3s are 12. So 12 is greater than 9. So we'll take 4 2 times 8. So now after that we have to subtract 9 minus 8, we get 1, and 6 you will drop out here, so it will become 16. Now we have to count again. So 4 times we get 16. So here we'll write 16 downside of this 16, so we have to subtract again. After subtraction we get 0 as the remainder. So we can say 24 is the quotient or answer, as you can say, and 0 is the remainder. Now we'll see with another example. Divide 9394 by 7. Here also again we have to start with the first digit, which is 9. So count the table of 7, how many times we can get the number which is less than 9 or equal to 9. In 7 table we don't get 9, so we'll take 7 ones are 7, and after that we have to subtract 9 minus 7, we get 2, and 3 you will write down. So 23. Now we'll count the table of 7. How many times? So we get the number which is equal to or less than 23. So we can see 7 threes are 21. So we'll take it, and after that we have to subtract 23 minus 21. So we get 2, and 9 you have to write down. So it is become 29. Now again count the table of 7. Here you can see 7 4 times is 28, and 28 is less than 29, so it will be subtracted. So we'll take 28. After subtracting 28 from 29, we get 1. And again here 4 is left, so we'll write down 4. So it will become 14. And in 7 table, 2 times we get 14. So after that we have to subtract 14 minus 14. So we get 0 as the remainder, and the quotient is 1342. This is how you have to do division of long term without remainder. Now, division of one digit number with remainder. So here again we are going to take some examples. Divide 2908 by 6. So again we have to do the division with one digit number. So here you can see one thing, 2 for one digit number we have to take one digit, but here one digit is 2 and 2 is smaller than 6, so it will not be subtracted from 6. That's why we have to take two digit number. So we'll take 29. After that count the table of 6. How many times we get the number which is smaller or equal to 29. So we'll see 6 fours are 24, which is less than 29, and it will be subtracted. 24 is subtracted from 29. After that we can see 9 minus 4 is 5 and 2 minus 2 is 0. So after 0 you will write down. So it will become 50. Now again count the table of 6. So here you can see in this table 6 8s are 48, which is less than 50. So it will be subtracted. So after that we have to subtract. So we can see 50 minus 48. So we get 2, and again we have to drop 8. So it will become 28. Now 6 4s are 24 and it is less than 28. So we'll take it because 6 5s are 30, which is greater than 28. That's why we'll take 6 4s are 24. Now after that we have to subtract. After subtracting we get 4 as the remainder and 484 as the quotient. This is how you have to do the division of long term with remainder. Now division by 10. How you will divide the numbers by 10? Here I have taken some examples. So 347 divided by 10. So here you can see the division I have done. So after dividing you get 34 as the quotient and 7 as the remainder. Again here I have taken the next example, 5681 divided by 10. So when we divide this number, as you can see here, so we get quotient as 568 and the remainder which is 1. So now you can see in both example, if you divide 347 divided by 10, so here you can see the last one digit number is remainder and the remaining numbers are the quotients. And similarly in this second number, 5681 divided by 10, here also the last one digit is the remainder and the remaining numbers are questioned. So from here you can see when a number is divided by 10, the digit in its ones place forms the remainder and the remaining digits forms the quotient. Because in 10 there are only 1 0, so you can see 1 0, so only ones place will be the remainder and the remaining numbers will be your quotient. Now here you can see in another example, find out the quotient and remainder of 468 divided by 10. So again here I am going to do it directly without any division. For division by 10, we have to just take the ones place as the remainder and the remaining numbers as the quotient. So 46 will become the quotient and 8 will become the remainder. Now division by 100. So here again I am going to take some examples. So first example is 321 divided by 100. So when we divide 321 by 100, so we get 3 as the quotient and 21 as the remainder. Similarly, in the next division, 7847 divided by 100, and after dividing we get 78 as quotient and 47 as the remainder. As you can see here, I have divided. So the conclusion is, when you divide any number by 100, so here you can see in 100 there are two zeros, so we'll take the last two digit as the remainder and the quotient remaining numbers as the quotient. So in first one, 321 divided by 100, the last two digit, which is 21, becomes the remainder and 3 becomes the quotient. And again similarly in this one, 7847 divided by 100, 47 becomes the remainder and 78 becomes the quotient. So when a number is divided by 100, the ones and tens place digits of the dividend forms the remainder and the remaining digits forms the quotient. Let's see with another example. So find out the quotient and remainder of 6348 divided by 100. So here we'll see in 100 there are two zeros, so last two digit ones and tens becomes remainder and the remaining numbers becomes the quotient. So 48 becomes remainder and 63 will be the quotient. Hope you understood this. Now the last one is division by 1000. So here also similarly you have to divide and see what is the quotient and remainder. So first example, 9318 divided by 1000. So here after dividing we get 9 as quotient and 318 as the remainder. Now here you can see in 9318 last three digit 318 becomes the remainder and 9 is the quotient. Again in this example, 19,400 divided by 1000. So when you divide 19,400 by 1000, you will get 19 as the quotient and 400 as the remainder. Here also you can see the last three digit is the remainder, which is 400, and the first two digit becomes the quotient, which is 19. So when a number is divided by 1000, the ones, tens and hundreds digit of the dividend forms the remainder and the remaining digits forms the quotient. Now we'll see with another example without actual dividing. Find out the quotient and remainder of 56,984 divided by 1000. So from previous we can say in 1000 there are 3 zeros, so we'll take last 3 digit, which is ones, tens and hundred as the remainder and remaining numbers as the quotient. So 984 becomes the remainder and 56 becomes the quotient. Hope you understood all the topics. Here I am going to do the quick reminder for this division by 10, 100 and 1000. When a number is divided by 10, the last digit is the remainder while the rest of the digits forms the quotient. When the number is divided by 100, so the number formed by the last two digit is the remainder, which is ones and tens digit, while the rest of the digits forms the quotient. And third, when a number is divided by 1000, the number formed by the last three digit is the remainder, which is ones, tens and hundred, and the rest of the digits forms the quotient. Now here I am giving you one activity to do at your home. Divide these 3-digit numbers by 2, 3, 4 and 5 and do it in your rough copy. This is all for today's video. Hope you will do it and keep practicing. Thank you.